Hello everyone, it's Luli. Today's video I'm going to be doing is like sort of a let's choose what game to play next together. As Brothers Conflict is coming to an end soon, I figured it would be good to kind of make a smooth transition, shall we say, rather than a kind of an awkward one. So I will be going back to Brothers Conflict at some point, but I thought I'd play a different game first as a change of scenery and then go back to do a different route, if that makes sense. Which is why I'm going to introduce you kind of four, and I'll explain to you why I say kind of, titles. And you can learn about them a little bit, and then you can vote at the end of this video, and hopefully there is something that interests you. The first title that I have here is called Haruka naru toki no naka de, number 6, and it's a fantasy title. Basically, you are the main character who ends up being brought or time travels into this Taisho period. It's in like a different world, but it's basically like time travel, if that makes sense, because she goes to this different world, and it's of this different like previous era that has happened in reality. So I guess it's kind of got the historical elements to it. I think Taisho period is, I think it's like late 19th, early 20th century. I could be wrong here, you know, I'm a bit like dumb when it comes to history, so I could be wrong there, but it's around that sort of era, and she basically gets teleported or time traveled into that era because she's there to bring peace to the world. So during that progress, I guess you kind of get to know one of these characters, and then you fall in love, and you know, you end up in like a good ending or a bad ending or whatever. So that's kind of the back of it. I think he looks kind of cute. So yeah, that's the first one. The second title I have here, and this one's like I want this one to win type of title. It's called Kenka Bancho Otome, and basically the story is the main character has this long lost twin brother that she didn't know about. She finds out, and this long lost twin brother is sort of like, oh, can you go to school in place of me? And this school happens to be a boys' school full of delinquents. So she goes to school as a boy, so like as her brother, and gets to know all these different people there. I think the beauty of this game is you have like a friendship and a romance end. I mean, obviously I want the romance end, but I think it's nice to be able to have that sort of option of whether you go down the friendship route or the romance route. And I think it will be quite interesting. The bit that I'm interested about is kind of that sudden realization that one of these characters must go through, where they're like, oh crap, this is actually a girl. And I think there's an anime on this as well. So yeah, I think it looks good. But that's my preference. You might like the other ones that, you know, I've said or am about to talk to you about. So yeah, but bear this in mind. The third title I have here is Kiniro no corda or 3, and I think it's also known in the West as la corda do oro. And it's basically, you've got this main character, she plays a musical instrument, and I believe the end of the game is kind of like you want to win a competition, whether it be an orchestra or, you know, I don't actually know the details because it doesn't really explain it in the back of the game very well. But in order to do so, obviously you have to work well with all the other characters who play all sorts of different instruments. And I think the beauty of this game is that you don't necessarily have to play with like one character. You can literally like be a complete playgirl and get to know every single character, and then end with one particular one you like, if that makes sense. So you can experience all sorts of different characters in one go, as opposed to having to go through it over and over and different, you know, routes over and over again. This one will have a lot of gameplay in it, which is why the translation for me will be a lot easier. So I will be able to kind of churn them out quicker, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the third one. The fourth, and I guess the additional title I have, is Wand of Fortune. The reason why I say this is additional is because I believe it's already been translated in English. I can't remember whether it was in PC but I know it's available in some way or another. So I thought instead of me translating it, it might be better for you to actually get to play it, if that makes sense. But I've added it because, well, one, I have it, and two, I don't think it's actually known that well that it's been translated. And three, because who knows, people might want me to play it more than the others, which is why I decided to add this. But basically the premise of the game is you're this girl, Lulu. She goes to magic school and she needs to skill up all these different things, and in the process she gets to know these lovely bachelors. They are all very attractive, as all Otome games go, and she gets to know these characters, and then hopefully she graduates and gets to live happily ever after with one of these people. So yeah, that's the premise of the game. So that's that. So yeah, basically what I'll do is I'll put the polls at the end of each video. You can decide, and when a popular one has been chosen, then obviously I'll decide on what character by another poll. So that's how this will work. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully there's one that interests you. I really hope so, because, you know, I do want to make everyone happy. Not to worry about Brothers Conflict, I will be going back to it because I do really enjoy that game. I just thought it would be nice to have a change of scenery, so that's the only reason. But thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you would not want to miss any of the videos, if you've, you know, voted on a game and you're particularly interested. And as always, feel free to comment. I love responding to comments, as weird as that sounds. But I just like the conversation. But anyway, thank you and have a good day. Bye!